That number on your cuff? It's lying to you. Not your machine's fault, not your nurse's fault. The problem is everything that happens in the minutes before that rubber bladder squeezes your arm. How long you sat, what you drank, where you put your arm, whether you said a single word. All of it hijacks the reading before the cuff ever tightens. I've been measuring blood pressure for over 15 years, and 4 out of 5 readings I see are wrong. Some are off by 30 points. 30. That's the difference between a clean bill of health and a prescription for a pill you might never have needed. This matters because your blood pressure is one of the only vital signs you can accurately take yourself at home for free, if you know how. Getting it wrong costs you in both directions. Some people get treated for a disease they never had. Others walk around reassured while real damage quietly builds in their arteries. Let's run through the 11 mistakes that throw your number off. A full bladder, 15 points. Coffee an hour ago, 10 points. The way you're sitting right now, another 15. And at the very end, 2 hidden conditions. One that gets people medicated for nothing, another that hides a stroke risk in plain sight. To understand these 11 mistakes, you have to understand one fundamental idea. Your blood pressure is not a static number. It's not like your height or shoe size. It's a live reading of how hard your heart is working at that exact second. Sit down-winded, and it's high. Rest quietly, and it falls. It changes minute to minute all day long. This is why one single reading in a doctor's office is practically meaningless. It's a snapshot, not a movie. Almost every mistake on this list does one of 2 things. First, it flips your stress switch, your fight or flight response. When that trips, your vessels tighten, your heart speeds up, and the cuff records a pressure that was never your true resting one. Second, it fools the cuff mechanically with the wrong equipment or arm position. Either way, you end up with a phantom number, a reading that looks real, gets written in your chart, and follows you around, even though it has nothing to do with the pressure actually wearing on your arteries and kidneys year after year. Every mistake creates a phantom number. The goal today is to take it away, so the number you and your doctor are making decisions on is finally real. The most common mistake happens before the cuff even goes on. You walk in, sit down, and the reading gets taken right away. Think about what your body just did. You got out of the car, walked across a parking lot, maybe took the stairs, sat in a waiting room worrying about your numbers, then walked back to the exam room. Your stress switch is wide open. Your heart is still elevated. And then we slap a cuff on and call that your blood pressure. That's a phantom. To get a true resting one, you need to sit quietly for 5 minutes first. No phone, no moving, no talking. Just sitting, letting that stress switch settle down. Skip that, and your systolic can read up to 11 points too high. That's the difference between 128 and 139. Same person, same arteries, same afternoon. Only the clock changed. The fix is free. Sit down, get the cuff ready, then do nothing for 5 minutes before you press start. I tell patients to place it right after a quiet task. You sat to read. You sat to watch something. Then you measure. 5 quiet minutes turns a phantom number back into a real one. The second mistake rides right on the back of the first. Talking or being talked to while the cuff inflates. This is so common in a clinic, it's almost a joke. The cuff is going, and that's exactly when someone asks how your daughter is doing. You answer because you're polite, and every word nudges your number up. Talking tightens the small muscles in your chest and throat. It changes your breathing. It taps that stress switch. Even friendly small talk does it. Holding a conversation during the reading can add around 7 points. Stack it with the first mistake, no rest, 11 points. Chatting through it, 7 more. You're already 18 points into phantom territory. The fix is simple and a little awkward. When the cuff inflates, you go quiet. In the office, hold up one finger and say, "Give me a moment. Let me get a clean reading." Any good nurse will respect that. You're protecting the one number the whole appointment is about. Now look at how you're actually sitting, because the next 3 mistakes are all about your body, and most people get all 3 wrong at once. The third mistake is sitting without back support, perched on the edge of an exam table or on a stool with nothing behind you. Your muscles have to work just to hold you upright. That low-grade muscular effort raises your blood pressure measurably. Your body reads it as light exertion, and the stress switch responds. An unsupported back can push your systolic up by about 10 points. This is why the reading you get on that paper-covered table can be meaningless. At home, sit in a chair with a real back and lean against it. A dining room chair is perfect, better than a soft couch that lets you slump. Let the chair hold you up. The fourth mistake is what you're doing with your arm, letting it hang or rest in your lap. Arm position is physics. If your arm is below heart level, gravity adds to the pressure in those vessels. Hold your arm low, and you add around 6 points. Most people have never been told this. The fix is to get the cuff up to heart level, the middle of your upper arm, level with the center of your chest. Rest it on a table. If it sits too low, put a folded towel under it. That's when the physics tells the truth. The fifth mistake is the worst of the body position group. Crossing your legs. It feels comfortable. For this number, it's one of the worst things you can do. When you cross at the knee, you partially squeeze the large vessels in your thighs and pelvis. Blood gets dammed up. Pressure backs up. Crossing your legs can raise your systolic by up to 15 points. 15 from how you're sitting. Almost everyone watching this crosses their legs the second they sit down and has been doing it during every reading of their life. Here's the posture that fixes mistakes 3, 4, and 5 all together. Sit back with back support. Uncross your legs. Both feet flat, ankles apart. Arm propped to heart level. Sit like that for your 5 quiet minutes. That single posture is worth 30 or 40 points of phantom pressure. The sixth mistake is one nobody connects to blood pressure. Taking your reading with a full bladder. This sounds like it can't matter. It matters a lot. A full bladder is a low-level stress signal. It activates that same stress switch, and your body responds by tightening vessels and raising pressure. A full bladder can add up to 15 points. Think about the trap. You wake up, haven't gone yet, and that's exactly when people sit down to check. Or you drank a big glass of water an hour ago. Phantom points every time. The fix is simple. Use the bathroom before you take your reading. Empty bladder, then sit for your 5 quiet minutes. One of the biggest sources of a falsely high number gone in 30 seconds. The seventh mistake is the coffee in your hand. Caffeine taken too close to the reading. This one has a wrinkle. In someone who rarely drinks it, coffee can push systolic up by around 10 points. But if you drink it daily, your body adapts, and the effect becomes close to nothing. So whether caffeine moves your number depends on whether you're a daily drinker. The answer isn't to quit your morning coffee. If you suddenly skip it, you can get a withdrawal headache, and that headache can raise your pressure too. The fix is timing. Leave about 30 minutes between your last coffee and your reading. Keep your normal routine. Same with a cigarette. Nicotine spikes pressure hard. 30-minute gap applies. Steady routine, real number. The eighth mistake is the equipment itself. The wrong cuff size. This one is sneaky because it can fool you in both directions. If the cuff is too small, it has to squeeze much harder and reports a number far too high, about 11 points. But if the cuff is too big, it gives a number falsely low. And a falsely low number is dangerous because it's reassuring. It tells you everything is fine when it may not be. The fix is to actually check once. Take a tape measure around the middle of your bare upper arm. Look at your cuff. Almost everyone has the size range printed right on it. Make sure your measurement falls inside that range. If you're buying a home monitor, this is the step people skip. Measure first, match the cuff. You only ever have to do it once. The ninth mistake is using the wrong arm. Here's something most people don't know. Your two arms do not give the same reading. There's almost always a small difference, and that's normal. The rule is to use the arm with the higher reading, because it better reflects the true pressure your body is working against. Many offices only set up to use one arm, and that can quietly understate your pressure. The first time you check seriously, check both arms. If one arm is consistently reading 10 points higher than the other, that's not a quirk. That can be a sign of vascular disease, narrowing in one of the large arteries. A consistent gap of more than 10 points is something to bring to your doctor. So 2 steps. Measure both arms when you start. Find which runs higher and always use that arm. If the gap is more than 10 points and stays that way, tell your doctor. The 10th mistake is the device itself. Wrist monitors and cheap, unvalidated machines. I understand the appeal of a wrist monitor. They're easy. But they're much more prone to error than a proper upper arm cuff. Your wrist is full of small vessels and tendons, and even a tiny change in how you hold your hand throws the number off. Don't rely on one unless an upper arm cuff isn't an option. The second half is accuracy. There are a lot of cheap, no-name machines that have never been properly tested. A pretty number means nothing if the device was never proven right. Here's the fix. There's an independent organization that rigorously tests home monitors and publishes the list that pass. The site is validatebp.org. Before you trust or buy one, check it's on that list. An upper arm cuff correctly sized from that list. That's the equipment that earns your trust. Now suppose you did everything right. Rested, sat properly, empty bladder, right arm, validated cuff. There's one mistake left, and it might be the biggest of all. Relying only on readings taken in the doctor's office. 2 hidden conditions hiding in that one mistake. Mirror images of each other. The first is white coat hypertension. For up to 1 in 5 people, just being in a medical setting trips the stress switch hard. It can inflate your systolic by up to 30 points. 30. That's how some people get started on medication they don't need, treated for a number that only exists inside the clinic. I had a patient, let's call her Margaret. She was 68. Her office reading was 158/94. Her doctor added a second pill. Weeks later, she was getting dizzy, stumbling in the kitchen. One afternoon, she caught herself on the counter before she went down. That's what scares me with seniors. A fall at 68 can change everything. We measured at home properly. Her real number came back 128/78. Her arteries had been fine the whole time. The 158 was a phantom. Her doctor took the extra pill back. The dizziness went away. The falls stopped. Now the mirror image, and this one is more dangerous. Masked hypertension. Your reading looks perfectly normal in the doctor's office, but your pressure is actually high the rest of the time. At home, at work, in real life. It's even more common than white coat, affecting up to 1/3 of people. And it's dangerous because everybody is reassured. The office number looks great, so nobody treats it, while real damage goes on quietly. Both come from the same blind spot, trusting a number taken in one artificial place on one day. The fix for both is the same. You measure at home over time. Here's the protocol. Twice in the morning, not long after you wake up, before coffee and before medications. 2 readings a minute apart. Twice in the evening before bed. Do that every day for a week. Take the average. That average from your own chair is far closer to the truth than anything we capture in a 12-minute visit. If your home average is consistently over 130/80, that's the line where you should talk to your doctor. Not panicking over one high reading. Everyone has those. The average is what matters because it's the chronically high pressure day after day that slowly damages your arteries, heart, kidneys, and brain. Here's the single thread through all 11. Every one creates a phantom number. Either it flips the stress switch or it fools the cuff. Once you can see which, none of this is mysterious. Your blood pressure is one of the few things where you genuinely hold the lever. You don't need a lab or a specialist or anyone's permission. You need a validated cuff, 5 quiet minutes, and the right way to sit. Do that, and you stop handing your doctor a phantom and start handing them the truth. Here's what to do starting tonight. 1. Find your cuff. Is it an upper arm cuff, sized to your arm? On the validated list at validatebp.org. If not, that's your one purchase. 2. Set up your spot. A firm chair with a real back next to a table where you can prop your arm to heart level. 3. Run one clean reading the right way right now. Empty your bladder. Sit back, feet flat, legs uncrossed, arms supported. Stay quiet. No talking for 5 minutes. Then measure. First time, do both arms and note which runs higher. 4. Start the week, twice each morning before coffee, twice each night before bed for 7 days. Write each down. At the end of the week, average them. If that average is over 130/80, book the appointment and bring your numbers. One firm line: do not change or stop any blood pressure medication on your own. Bring your numbers to your doctor and decide together. And if you ever get a reading around 180 over 120 with chest pain, trouble breathing, vision changes, weakness on one side, or a terrible headache, that's not a measurement question. That's an emergency. Call 911. We spent this whole story making sure the number is real. Once you know your true pressure is high, the obvious next question is what you can do about it without medication first. There's a lot you can do, and some of it works faster than people expect. I made a video on how to naturally lower your blood pressure. It's on your screen right now. Take a look. I'll see you over there.